God. Ask God.
Hey Scott, this is Steven calling from Southern California. My question is this. I have yet to sell anything on FBA. However, I had a meeting with a nutrition company recently. Long story short, they want me to sell stuff on Amazon for a percentage of the company and sales. They sell products such as like fat burners, proteins, probiotics, etc. You get the idea. I already have registered their brand name and will be approved in the category any day now. The thing is, since I have no experience in FBA yet, but I have listened to well over 100, 150 hours of podcast between you and Ryan, and have had training with third-party FBA program. So, I must have sounded like I knew what I was talking about for them to offer me this position. So pretty much any advice or suggestion on this matter would be great. I know it's all about action, just, what kind of action? Since I know the supplement industry is very competitive and you don't really go towards that route. However, since this is the route I'll be taking, just anything I should watch out for, and it'd be highly appreciated. Thank you very much. I look forward to paying it and to hear from you soon. All right, thanks.
Hey, Steven, thanks so much for the question. And I'm so glad you asked it. Why? Because I kind of talked about this earlier in this episode, right? I talked about how you have like the knowledge. You haven't sold anything yet, but you have the knowledge. You just kind of need the product, right? So I always tell people too with like product research, when you're doing product research, it's like listen, right? It's like listen to conversations. What are people struggling with? What are people having problems with? All of that stuff too. Well, the other thing you might want to do is pay attention to what people are saying that they either sell in their brick and mortar store or maybe that they want to sell. And then you can swoop in and say, have you ever listed on Amazon? And they're like, no, I didn't. And you're like, well, you can list on Amazon, I don't know anything about that. Well, if you want, we can kind of work together, maybe split the commission. Maybe you can pay me a one-time setup, or maybe we can see what happens here. You can buy, pay me a royalty, whatever, right? Sky's the limit. It gives you opportunity. Okay. And if you listen to this stuff, literally just the other day, and this doesn't have to do with Amazon technically, but, I'm sitting there at dinner with a friend, actually a friend that I just became friends with, my daughter, my youngest daughter, Kayla. She actually had a friend come home from school. We met her parents. We really hit it off with him. We went out to dinner. Well, he's a trainer. He's a physical trainer. So we started talking about it, and he doesn't do anything online with his business, right? So I'm like, you really need to do that. So we really got talking about it and everything. I got excited for him. I want to kind of roll up my sleeves and dig in and help him get his message out there because he's got a really, really cool message. Now, I'm not going to do that right now. I'll give him a few tips here and there, but I just don't have time in my day to personally work with him. But he seems pretty motivated and he seems pretty excited. Okay, but here's the thing. When you hear people talking about what they do, if it can apply to what you're doing on Amazon or what you want to do on Amazon, it might be an opportunity. Okay. Now, a good buddy of mine, Chris Schaefer, you guys may have heard me talk about. He actually helps me with my workshops, and he also helps me with the private label classroom. That's how he landed one of his clients, by going to lunch with them and hearing about what they sell in their brick and mortar store, and then said, hey, why don't we put it on Amazon? Sure. And then now he gets to split some of that commission. So there's always these opportunities. Now, you also talked about supplements. Well, if you have a unique supplement, if it's not just another fish oil or something like that, then yeah, I would go for it. If it's a special shampoo, maybe, if they're creating this and it's their own formula, they probably have a reason why they wanted to create that formula. So you just need to come into the market and be that difference, right? You need to be, the one, business in that particular market that has a message and why that product is better and why you formulated things differently. It's just, if you're going to take a product that is the same fish oil that 12 other people are selling and then trying to be different, that's going to be a tough nut to crack because you're competing apples to apples. Okay. And it is a crowded space. But I do think if you have someone that is already selling that amongst their own business, and now you're going to come in and say, let's just put it up on Amazon and see what happens, I think that's a great opportunity. And I would even consider doing that. Now, I don't want any emails from people saying, Scott, I got a supplement that I'm thinking about selling. Will you help me? I'm not looking for any businesses to invest in right now, or even invest my time. So I'm just saying that if you are struggling to get started, if you're struggling to see if this is a right fit for you, a great way to do this is to maybe test it on someone else's business that they're already currently selling a physical product, just not on Amazon. Okay. So I think it's a great opportunity. I think that I would definitely look into it. I know there was another gentleman that I interviewed, and he was talking about someone made custom. I think it was honey. And I'm so sorry if you're listening to this and I forgot which interview it was. I'm totally blanking out here. But I know it was something that was custom, and it was like a custom blend or something. And he wanted to actually. It might have even been a private. It might have been a private call I was on, but he was telling me that he wanted to pitch them an idea as far as like taking their product and not even bringing it to market under that brand, is maybe like he could have them let him private label. So again, another opportunity if you just ask. And you know what? Opportunity is all around us. So when people say, Scott, how do I become successful at this or at business? It's looking for opportunities and finding a way to be of value. And then from there, you can usually make a deal, or at least pitch a deal. Okay. So again, that might be something you might do just to get your feet wet in this business, or maybe you're already running a pretty successful business, but you don't want to take on a brand new business. Now you can go in and say, okay, here's what I can add to this business. Here's what you're going to do. If we do this together, it's going to be, a 70-30 split or whatever, right? Whatever your terms want to be. And that's something similar to what I just recently did, like I said, and it's a great thing for me because I don't have to be 100% invested in that, but I can at least do what I think I can do to add to it, and then also reap some benefits if the business does well. Okay. So just look for opportunity. Don't sit there and think that it only has to be you launching a product right today. If you're struggling with that for financial reasons, or maybe you're just struggling in a market, or maybe you want to go bigger, but you don't have the capital, start somewhere else and build that business and start getting some revenue in that way. Or another idea, you could be a consultant in a sense. If you know the process, be a consultant, coach them through it, and then say, hey, I'll only get paid if you get paid. There's a ton of different ways that you can go at this business. And I'm just talking business in general. This is kind of like my business cap now, my entrepreneurial cap, which I have on like all the time. And that's why I was sitting at dinner with our friends, and, he's telling me about what he does. And I'm like, have you ever thought about selling your stuff online or selling your services? And he was like, yeah, but I'm not really sure what to do. And then I just start kicking in, right? And that's what I mean. Like, I just naturally do that because I can see when someone has something that can add value. And if they're not utilizing the other channels, it fires me up because I see the opportunity. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business, so definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.